We're going to work today on learning to use the work plane tools within our CAD software. We're going to be creating this part that you see here. The first step in creating it is I'm going to model the base of this part, so the bottom part right here. And then I'm going to be adding this web feature as a sketch on top of that base. So that's the first step of creating this part. Alright, so I have the base of the part created, and I have the sketch for the web that's going to be created. The next step is going to be to offset work plane to do that. And so if we look at our sketch, we can see that from the top of the base part of the component to this center point of where this angle starts to happen is 2 inches. And so I'll use the offset work plane. So under construction tools, I'm going to click offset work plane, and then I'm going to click on the face of my part, and I can offset that work plane up a distance of 2 inches. Once I have that set, I can go to a front view, and you can see that the work plane is set 2 inches above the base of the part. From here, I'm going to figure out how to create this construction line. It's a center line right here, and we're going to project that up to our plane eventually. So to do that, I'm going to go back into my sketch that has the web on it. I'm going to click the line tool. I'm going to get a construction line, and I'm going to place the construction line in the exact middle of that sketch. Then I'll finish the sketch. I can see I have my construction line here. And from here, we're going to use that construction line to help us create the angled work plane we need for our to create the top part of the part. So I'm going to go ahead and click to create a new sketch, and I'm going to do it on the work plane that's 2 inches above my part. From here, I'm going to go under Create, and I'm going to click Project, or you can hit P on your keyboard. And I'm going to project this construction line up to the plane we're working on. So when I do that, you can see that now this construction line has been projected up to the plane we're working on. And we're going to use this as a sketch entity to create our angled work plane where we're going to do the rest of make the rest of our part. So I'll go ahead and finish the sketch. And I'll get, this time, a plane at an angle. And like I said, we're going to use this line as our sketch entity to set the angle of the work plane. And so if I look at my drawing, we can see that right here it's dimensioned at 30 degrees. And so I'm going to set that work plane at negative 30 degrees to make sure it is facing that direction. And once I have that, I'll go ahead and click OK. So from here, we're going to go ahead and create a sketch on the angled work plane so we can start sketching the geometry for the top portion of this. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create a Sketch. I'm going to click on the work plane. So once I have my sketch created on the angled work plane, I'm going to find the center of this line right here, and that's where our rectangles are going to be drawn from. So I'm going to go ahead and project that line to the work plane we're on. So I'll come down here and click Project. I'll click on this line, and then this time I'm going to get a center point rectangle tool. I'm going to go to the middle of that line, and I'm going to click to draw the rectangle for the top portion of this. If we look at the print, it is 3 inches by 2 inches. And so I'll go ahead and type in those dimensions. So there is our sketch for our part. We can see that it's directly above our base like it should be. Next thing I'll look at, once I finish that sketch, I'll look at my print again, and we can see that the extrusion should be going up from this center point right here. And so I'll go ahead and click extrude. I'll select my geometry that I want to extrude, and we'll look at the thickness of 0.31 or 310 thousandths. So I'll go ahead and type that in as with the thickness, and I can go ahead and click OK. The next thing we're going to work on is extruding this web feature up to the top part of the base. And so I'm going to go ahead and click the extrude tool. I'll click on that web and I can bring it up. The best way to connect this to the top part of our feature there is going to be on the extent type. Instead of choosing a distance, we're going to say to the object, and then I'm going to click on the back side of the top part of the part where I want that web to be extruded to. So once I have that done, I can go ahead and click OK and make sure I have join selected here, so it'll join the two bodies together. From here, we're going to go ahead and finish adding the other features of the part, so the rounded edges and the holes. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so when you finish your part, it should look something like this with the holes and all of the fillets and rounds applied. If you look at the print, it says all unmarked radii 60 thousandths or 0.06, and so you can see that there and apply those rounds to the part. And that's it for your tutorial on construction planes.